everybody. So today I'm going to walk you through a couple of forms that you're going to see during your loan process and get you familiar with what the numbers here. Um, let's get started. The loan estimate is the very first documents we're going to send out after you're in contract. So on the contract, you normally have 7 days to finish the loan application. We receive the contract. As a broker, we go out, shop for the lenders, make sure there is the best interest rate and closing costs and the terms and everything works for your file. We put them together, we send it out. Within the 3 days from the official loan application after a contract, you're gonna sign this form. And so I want to walk you through the form today just because we have 3 days for compliance, and I want to make sure you have ample time to understand it before you sign. Okay? So anyway, here we go. Loan amount, interest rate, monthly principal and interest, monthly total monthly payment, the tax and insurance and assessment. So the tax is from Cary website. Insurance is the estimate from our loan officer. You're gonna have to talk to your insurance agents after this step to get the actual quote. Then you connect the insurance agents and the loan officer so they can have the actual number on the closing disclosure later, which is the next form. We're gonna talk about that later. Okay. Um, the assessment, aka HOA, this property does not have one, but if you do have one, you might see it on here. However, the HOA is paid by the buyer to the HOA directly. It's not on the monthly payment to the lender. However, the lending industry only want to disclose all the numbers, so you have an idea. So anyway, the estimated closing cost is here, and estimated cash to close is here. We're gonna really go through the breakdown of this closing cost, and then the cash to close is the number that you expect to write to the title company before closing to get a key. This number normally difference with the final number on the closing disclosure. But let me walk you through the details a little bit on the closing costs right here. All right, block A is the fee that you pay us as a broker. This amount would change according to the loan type. Is it traditional loan or is it non-QM loan? So that can change, but in this case, that's a fee. Block B is the fee that you pay to the third party. In this case, appraisal fee and credit report. Even you put down 20% down payment and your transaction is qualified for appraisal waiver, aka you don't have to pay for an appraisal fee. You still see the fee here, but our loan officer be able to advise you if we have appraisal waiver on your case or not. Block B is all the fee. So you can see the survey fee right here, and then the rest is title fee. So that's the two yellow line I am highlighting on block C and block H over here is something that you should know. So in Central Ohio, the seller picked the title company. So all the fee that you see right here is the fee we collect from the title company picked by the seller and put it on here for disclosure. Yet this title insurance is paid by the seller plus $100. What does that mean? So you get 616 plus 814. The total of those two numbers, the buyer would only pay $100 and the rest paid by the seller. So right now you don't see that yet, but at closing disclosure, you're gonna see it. And right now, that's why I highlight the area here, the yellow. It say adjustment and auto credit. It means you're gonna see there's certain fee on here. It looks like it's your fee, but the local custom it paid by the seller. So that's a good thing. Okay, so those two, we talk about that. Anyway, so block D is a total of A, B, C on the left. Okay, I'm gonna go to the right hand side here. So block E, the recording fee you pay is a buyer. The transfer tax, the seller pay. So again, you cannot see who pay what right now. So I'm making some note here so you know that in reality, at closing disclosure, the seller gonna pay for that. Okay? Prepaid. So the homeowner insurance, you always have to pay 12 months in advance. Okay. Again, remember I said the insurance amount is the estimate and you have to get a quote later. The prepaid interest. So it depends on what is the closing date in the month. That is different. So in this case, this file closed on the 8th of November. So you have 22 days left of the month. That come up with the prepaid interest right here. Okay. Now, block G is escrow. So every month when you pay a chunk to the lender on the monthly payment, it cover the property tax, insurance in there too, on top of the principal and interest. The property tax and insurance would be put into an escrow account. Basically, the lender hold that account and twice a year they pull the money out, pay the property tax and insurance for you. So it's technically your money. They put it in there. Now, if you sell the house and there's any leftover in there, the escrow account, they're supposed to refund back to you. So this is not fee, but it's your money in the escrow account. Put it that way. All right. We already covered this block, so we're done with that. So the total cost is gonna be EFGH. So let's see, EFGH, make a total number right here, okay? So the total closing cost, ED and I's, which is this number and that number. So as you can see, it's a little confusing because you might think, oh my gosh, I have to pay 7,400 closing costs. That's a lot. Well, you don't. Remember you have credit. Remember you have prepaid. Remember you have escrow. So when somebody asks on the closing costs, you don't want to really use the 7460 as a number, but you gotta understand the breakdown the way I just walk you through. Okay? So that is the closing cost. Now, you also, so in this case, the buyer put down 100,000 down payment. They put 1,000 earnest money on the contract. So altogether, the estimated cost to close is 106,460. But remember, we have some credit that we talked about earlier. So you technically not gonna have to pay this whole amount before closing. But the lending industry is very strict and they want all the disclosure possible so you can see. So right now you just have in mind that at 106, but the actual number is gonna be less than that. To help you understand a little better, we're gonna talk about the closing disclosure. But let me recap. The loan estimate, you have to sign within 3 days when you receive it, which is within the 7 days of the loan application process, since the day that you do get a contract signed with the seller. So time is of essence. So make sure you help us follow all the time for compliance. So remember, we are a broker. So when we pick out a lender that really do the loan for you, they are actually the one that gonna send out the loan estimate and closing disclosure for your signatures. So during the whole process, our team would communicate with you to work through the conditions of the loan for approval. But the forms for loan estimate and closing disclosure are required to be sent by the true lender. Just so you know, so when you see email from a lender, please open and sign it. We can have the timeline compliant. But those are the two times that you receive the email from them. The rest of the process, we will communicate with you. Okay? All right. So that's it for the loan estimate, and let's move to the closing disclosure.